Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2012 Hyundai Sonata with a 2.4 liter engine. The customer complaint on this vehicle is the engine does not start. When he tries to start the engine makes a clicking noise, but it doesn't start. The customer told me that his wife drives this vehicle. Actually, the customer is a good friend of mine. His name is Bercy. He's like a brother to me. He told me that the wife was driving the vehicle, and then one day he decided to take the wife's car to work. He said, I'm going to drive my wife's car today. So when he was driving to work, he noticed that the oil light came on the dash. And after the oil light came on, it went off for a little bit, and then it came back on. After the oil light came back on for the second time, then the engine died. So he pulled over. He turned the key off. He tried starting it again. At that point, he only heard a clicking noise. The engine didn't start. So he called me. I told him I couldn't go look at it, so he had to tow the vehicle to our shop. But when he called me, he said, Dio, I believe the engine needs a starter. I think my starter gave up. I said, why do you need a starter? He said, well, when I was driving, the engine died. He told me the oil light came on twice, and then when he pulled over, he tried starting it. He only heard a clicking noise. I said, well, that could be a starter issue, but we're not just going to replace the starter. We have to do some tests. So get the vehicle here first. I will take a look at it, and then we will see what we're going to find. So the vehicle is outside. We don't have the vehicle here in the shop. I will take you guys with me. We're going to go outside and do the diagnosis to figure out why this vehicle is not starting. So maybe it needs a starter, maybe it needs something else. We have to find out. Now, before we go outside, I would like to introduce to you guys another concept that we have been thinking about and we would like to implement here on our videos, and I would like to get your input on that. So let us know how you like this. So basically the new concept is we're going to randomly select 7 comments from the previous video, and then I'm going to answer these comments in the video. So the upcoming video, we will select the comments from the previous one. Now, Matt is going to put those comments up somewhere here on the screen. So cameraman Matt is going to put the comments up here that I'm going to be reading. So we have the comments here selected. Actually, we have cameraman Matt behind the camera. So cameraman Matt, thanks for being here. So we randomly selected these comments. So I'm going to read a couple of them. Let me find them. So now these comments were selected from the video that came out, I believe, 2 days ago. That video was a video I made on a Honda Odyssey. That Honda Odyssey had a misfire on cylinder 3, and oil was going into the spark plug tube because the spark plug tube seal was leaking. So it's a 2-part video. We selected the comments from part 2 of that video. So we're trying this out. Let us know how you like it, and then we might do more of it in the future. So I'm gonna try the first comment that we selected. So the comment will be up. The first comment is from @Chris 2773976. He says, I wish you would show the work. Doesn't make sense to watch if you are not going to show how you repair the problem. Now, guys, there's one thing I want to mention is on our channel, we're going to try to give you guys a variety of videos. But all the videos will not be identical, okay? We're going to have diagnosis videos. We will have how-to videos. For example, if we're doing a brake job, I'm showing you how to remove and replace rotors and pads or control arms or whatever that may be. That's a how-to video. If we're doing a diagnosis video, now some diagnosis videos will have how-to stuff in it where I can show you how to do the repair, but some of them will just be a diagnosis video. So we're just going to show you how to get to the problem and what caused the problem. So that is what the Odyssey video was all about. we just wanted to show you guys that the vehicle was misfiring, the test you can do to get to the problem, and what was causing the vehicle to misfire. And in that case, it was the spark plug tube seal. So we were not trying to show you how to replace the spark plug tube seals. Now that we know that you guys want to see that kind of content, maybe in the future we will do that. So if you see a video where we're not showing you the process of doing something, it's either we already done it, I'm going to tell you to go watch that video, or it was just a diagnosis video. Okay, so that is the first comment. Second comment is from at Nors172 still 5. He says, anything you're doing solo presentation, your videos are cleared, focused, and better quality. Thank you. So I appreciate it. Now, some of the videos are videos that are shot a long time ago. I don't know if you guys are noticing that. Some videos were shot a long time. So some of the videos were shot when I was doing everything by myself. Matt was not on board yet. Matt wasn't here with us, or cameraman Dom. So again, I mean, as much as I love doing filming and editing, I don't want to do everything by myself. That's why I have Matt and Dom, so they can help out. So give Matt and Dom some time. You know, they will get to the quality that you guys like. So I appreciate that you like the ones that I produced myself. Now, third comment is from at Jamal Kingsworth 3124. He says, bro, you are good. So thank you. And then he said, I think this might be why my 05 Explorer is misfiring. Okay. Thank you for thinking so. And, you know, we put out these videos so that we can share how we fix things here in our shop with you. And so we can also help you guys out, you know, whether you're taking a car to a mechanic, so you can have an idea of how it's done. And if you decide to do it yourself, hopefully our videos are helpful as well. The next comment is from a Sandal Gamuni. I don't know, I'm probably butchering this name, but a Sandal Gamuni 1536. He says, I like your way of explaining stuff while you're doing the repair. God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And then we have James. Oh, actually, my friend James. We have at James Jishui 2174. He says, hey kids, following up from Kenya. I appreciate your job. Thank you, James. I appreciate you. Thank you for always commenting on our videos. Thank you for always watching. I appreciate it. And then the next one is at Aindershid. I'm probably butchering this name, but I apologize. Aindershid 2510 says, I keep saying it. You are the best. The way you explain, give me more knowledge. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's why we're making these videos, so we can show you how we do things in our shop, and so we can also, so I can share my knowledge with you guys. So if the videos are helpful, I like it. Thank you. And then the other one is from at the Analog Kid 2. He says, does not want to admit misdiagnosed bad ignition coil. Now, I don't know what you mean, but I don't want to admit that I misdiagnosed this. This wasn't a misdiagnosis. I don't know what you mean, because we did some tests. We followed the data. We got to the cylinder that was misfiring. We did the test. The coil, actually the cause was the oil leak, but the coil got damaged because it got oil in it. So we were not going to replace that coil. The coil was going to get replaced anyways. So you have oil going into the spark plug tube. The coil was filled with oil. So after fixing the leak, we had to replace the coil as well and the spark plugs. So that wasn't a misdiagnosis. All right, guys, so that's it. So we randomly selected 7 comments. So let us know how you like this. We might be doing this more in our upcoming videos. So now let's walk outside so we can go check out that Hyundai Sonata. I have my battery charger here with me because I don't know if the battery is dead on that Sprinter. I mean, not Sprinter, on that, I'm thinking about a Sprinter. It's not a Sprinter, it's a Hyundai Sonata. We get a lot of Sprinters here with dead batteries, so. All right, so I brought my under hood light because let's see what we're gonna find. Now, he said the oil light came on, so that's not a good sign. Hopefully nothing got damaged, and you never know, it may just need a starter. So we shall see. But the starter usually doesn't just quit while you're driving. That's not a starter issue. I'm gonna try to crank it. Let's see what we got. Can you hear that? There's like a clicking noise. But maybe the battery is weak. Let me put a battery charger on the battery. Let's see. Let's put a charger on this thing. I hear a clicking noise coming from under the hood. Okay, let's put a charger on this. Now, actually, there were some of you that made comments about this charger. These chargers are okay, they're not the best. I don't like this one because it's heavy. I'm gonna have to get a smaller one. It works. Last time when I was using it, I think I was using it on a I was doing a video on a RAV4. It was like a little while ago. It wasn't working because I didn't know there's a battery inside this charger. So that battery was dead, okay? So I talked to a friend, then he said, oh, you need to go get it checked. So I took it to battery one. They took it apart, they replaced the batteries inside, and then now it works. Now, the gauge over here, the voltmeter doesn't work, but the jump box itself is now working, okay? So I'm gonna try to start it again. Matt will come with me in the car so we can show you what we're seeing on the dash. Let me try to start it again. I'm gonna try to start it. Let's push the start button here. Look at what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not the battery. The battery is not dead, okay? Actually, do I see smoke coming under there? Oh, that's not good. Is that smoke? Okay, guess what? I think it's the starter. It's the starter. All this smoke coming from this area, it's a starter, okay? Now, I wasn't really insisting on the push button. Based on the smoke that I see over here, this engine is locked, okay? So it's a starter overheating. I don't know if you can see, I don't know how well the camera is picking this up. We don't have a lot of smoke coming out, but there's a little bit of smoke. So what's happening is the engine is locked. We're gonna check that, okay? We're not just gonna assume, we're gonna check. Based on what I see, the engine is locked and the starter is trying to spin the crankshaft. Since it's locked, so the starter is drawing a lot of current, okay? There's a lot of current buildup in the starter motor. So since it's drawing a lot of current, the starter is overheating, so it's getting hot. That's why we see the smoke. If we do it for a while, we're gonna burn the starter. I don't think the starter is damaged right now. So now what I wanna do is, I'm gonna grab, let's see if we have the right size tool over here. Let me grab a 20, let me see, what size is this? Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I don't have the right tool, okay? It looks like that's a 22 millimeter. I don't want to raise the vehicle. I'm going to try to see if I can do it here from under the hood. I'm going to try to crank the crankshaft bolt. Let's see if we can spin the engine. I'll go grab the wrench and then I'll be right back. I did get the right wrench. So we have a 22 wrench. I have the ratcheting one. So this is what we're going to use. So Matt, if you can come over here, let me show you the nut I want you to focus on. So do you see this big nut over here? You see my finger down there? So this bolt over here, I hope cameraman Matt can see my finger. So I'm pointing, yeah, at this big bolt over here. This one, yeah. So this is a 22 millimeter bolt. So we're gonna spin that. So I'm gonna get my wrench. So this wrench, I'm gonna try to get it on that bolt. Okay, you guys probably won't see what I'm about to do. Okay, so I got the wrench. I hope you can see. I got the wrench on the bolt. Let me put the light over here. Maybe that's better. Now we're gonna spin the engine clockwise, okay? So this will allow us to spin the engine. I'm gonna use another wrench on it as an extension. Check this out. You see, I can't turn it. This is stuck. Do you see how much force I'm applying to this? Yeah, this is, dang. Yeah, this engine is locked. Yeah, it's locked. Yeah, Matt, if you can show everybody, look at my setup here. Look at what I have. I have this wrench. It's going to the one down here. Yeah, so look. Yeah, now this is locked. Yeah, no. Well, this is locked. No wonder the starter is smoking. So, locked engine. Guys, at this point, I mean, what can we do? Let me know in the comment section how you would go about this. I mean, the engine under the hood looks pretty clean. Matt, if you can, let's look at this really fast. Just show the engine. You know, it's pretty clean. It's not dirty. I don't see any oil. Like, there's no oil around. I mean, I spoke too soon. There's a little bit of oil over here, but nothing too crazy though. You know, around the water pump over here, there's a little oil right there. Yeah, not, you know, nothing too bad. You know, the valve cover is not leaking. Let me pop this. I didn't actually. I will. Actually, cameraman Matt just asked if I check the oil level. Actually, I'm going to. So let's pop this engine cover. Let's get this out of the way. Now, let's see if there's oil. Now, actually, I need to mention one thing, which is actually very important. When my friend called me, when the engine died, he told me the oil light came on, and I told him to check the oil level. He did check the oil level. He told me that there wasn't enough oil in the engine, and then he put oil in the engine. So right here, Matt, so look at the color of the oil that came out of it. So there's oil in the engine. Look at it. So let's check the level one more time. So he did put oil. Yeah, so right there. Actually, it's a little bit overfilled. There's a lot of oil. He did put oil in it, and he told me that let me see. He told me the jug that he bought should be in the car. Oh, right here. Yeah, so this is what he bought. So he told me he bought this Mobil 1 oil and he put the whole thing in it. So he did put oil in it, but that didn't help. So, I mean, as you guys can see, the engine looks pretty clean, but, you know, look at that. So, it's locked. It has to be replaced. So how would you go about this? I'm going to recommend replacing the entire engine. I'm not going to recommend a used engine. I'm going to recommend a OEM engine or a remanufactured engine. Now, knowing the age of the vehicle, this vehicle is a 2012, and let me see how many miles it has. Let me turn the key on. So this engine has 155,000 miles. So 155.8 something it was. So it has a lot of miles. I believe a remanufactured engine for this vehicle won't be cheap, plus the labor and everything. So I am going to, again, that's not my decision. I'm going to provide all the info to the customer, who is a good friend of mine. Then he's going to decide what route he's going to go. Now, like I said, I mean, I said it here, I'm going to say it again. I don't like recommending used engines. You know, sometimes you buy them, they last long, sometimes they don't. So I'm not going to recommend a used engine, but if the customer asks for us to install a used engine, we can, but we're not going to warranty it, okay? So he's gonna decide, and then we'll figure out where we're gonna go. So there might be part 2 of this. I will let you guys know in our upcoming videos about how we're gonna go about this, what the customer is gonna decide. So I will make 3 estimates. One estimate will be with a remanufactured engine, another estimate with a new engine from Hyundai, and then a third one might be a used one, just so the customer can have all the options. And then I'm gonna tell him if he gets a used one, no warranty. You know, our shop insurance does not cover used units, so that's why I don't warranty them. Okay, so this was a quick and easy one. We're gonna leave this right over here. Let me know how you would go about this. Let me know if it's even worth fixing. Maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna tell the customer. At the end of the day, I like to educate my customers. I give them all the data and all the info, and then I let them decide. Okay, so cameraman Matt, thanks for being here. Let us know about the comments that we read at the beginning of the video. Let us know if you like that. Maybe we're gonna do more of it in the future. Everybody, thanks for being here. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our channel. If you have any comments, questions, criticism, leave them in the comment box. Thanks for watching. See you next time. All right, guys, before we end this video, I want to add one more thing that cameraman Matt mentioned off camera. Actually, Matt asked me, he said, Dio, you didn't say what caused this engine to lock. So it's a question that Matt asked me off camera. I didn't realize that I didn't say that. As Matt asked me that question, I started really thinking about what I think that caused this engine to lock up. I believe, since the customer told me that the oil light came on the dash, the engine was probably low on oil, or the engine didn't have any oil, because why would the engine lock up? I mean, unless the chain snapped. I don't think that's the issue. I mean, we could remove the valve cover to see if the timing chain snapped. I don't think so. Actually, now that I'm thinking about removing the valve cover, let me pop off the engine cover. Let's see how difficult it is to remove the valve cover. It's a little bit difficult. We might have to remove the high pressure pump. Let me remove the oil fill. I mean, we can't really see. Okay, anyways, I mean, I'm not gonna remove the engine. I mean, I'm not gonna remove the valve cover to see, because the other thing that can cause this engine to lock would be a broken timing chain, or the engine was just low on oil. It probably didn't have any oil, and then it locked. So knowing that it was the oil light that came on before the engine stopped, I would say they drove it for a long time without doing an oil change, and then the oil was low, because these engines tend to burn a lot of oil, so it didn't have enough oil, and then it locked. So that's the only thing I can think about. But if there is somebody on our YouTube community that might know what caused this engine to lock, let us know in the comment section. I don't want to take a lot of stuff apart. I already told the customer what's wrong with it. He told me to give him a couple days to think about whether he's gonna get a remanufactured engine or another vehicle. He's actually already contemplating the idea of just buying another vehicle. So I told him I'm not gonna recommend a used engine. Let's install a remanufactured engine on this. That is what I recommended. So he said, I'm thinking about it. He might sell the vehicle as is. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe in our upcoming videos, we will let you guys know what the customer decides. So again, he told me to wait, to give him a couple of days so he can figure out what he's gonna do with this car. So he's a good friend of mine. I allowed him to keep the car here for a couple of days, but I told him I'm not gonna keep it for too long. After 3 days, if he still hasn't decided what he's gonna do, we have to, tow it to his house, or maybe he has to sell it. So I'm gonna leave this right over here. That is what I think caused this engine to lock. It ran out of oil and then it locked. So cameraman Matt, thank you for bringing that up. If you guys have, if you know what usually causes this engine to lock up, share it with us. Thanks everybody for being here. See you guys next time.